companion this Ramadan.
It is 9 minutes past 12. You are listening to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media. Our hit list for today is Stellenbosch graduate and Stellenbosch University, rather, graduate and author of the book titled 21 Life Lessons at 21. Thembalethu Seyisi is using his graduation to raise funds for students who are not able to access their academic records due to student debt via hashtag Action for Inclusion. Let's chat to him and find out more about his journey. Good day, Thembalethu. Thank you for joining me.
Good day, ma'am. Thank you for the privilege to join you this afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. And yourself? Now, tell us, who is Thembalethu
Good day.
Seyisi in
Thank you
a
for the
nutshell?
privilege to join you this afternoon. That's always a difficult question. Thembalethu Seyisi, I am recently just got capped this morning. I'm an official LLB graduate from Stellenbosch University. I'm also a social justice ambassador. I'm doing my articles of clerkship. I'm also an author, but most of all, I'm inspired by humanity and hope that I can be of service to humanity.
All right, so Thembalethu, there is a slight delay. So when you answer your question for the first time, please give me some time to respond, and I will give you some time to respond as well, so that the delay doesn't hinder our interview and make that a bit challenging for us. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about your activism. When did you start doing social work, and you said you were inspired by humanity, but what really triggered you to push and decide, no, I have to do something about the situation, especially that of the fees?
Thank you. Having grown up in a very small town in Kwanobuhle in the Eastern Cape, and being faced with enormous challenges of poverty, unemployment, and just rampant inequality, we're told that I was particularly poor, but I grew up in a poor community. When I got to Stellenbosch, I saw a different side of the world where it was people were living in a privileged society with much more than I always say in Stellenbosch we have much more than we need. So I thought maybe I can try and combine the two worlds and make something out of it. And that's where my activism started, giving to where there is none and taking where there is excessive.
hmm So, why did you choose to start raising funds to help other students? Like, you probably could have decided to do something else, but yet you chose to go down the route of school fees.
Again, it's a matter of when you have to share with others. I've never had to worry about fees. I've never had to worry about, am I going to graduate with student debt or anything like that? Those things were taken care of. My only job at Stellenbosch University was to focus on the academic project. So I thought, well, I've got the time, I've got the resources, I've got the network. Why don't I share it with others? Because you would know that in a class on your left, there might sit a child of a millionaire, but on your far right sits a child of a domestic worker. And if we do truly want a society where everybody's potential is freed, we have to pull these two worlds to the center.
Definitely. And who are some of the recipients of the funds that you are raising and have already raised?
When we launched in 2020, we had about 54 students that were on the fund. We've now increased. I think in 2021 we've had about 100. I think 2022 is another 100 students. So the list increases every year, which is an evidence of how the pandemic has affected parents who could pay for their kids but can no longer pay anymore.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's always been a fight for fees must fall, etc., and it's still challenging right now, and we are still fighting for fees must fall. What is the university doing? What is Stellenbosch University doing on their part to assist students who cannot afford to pay?
Stellenbosch University is engaged in various activities that we should applaud the university for making sure that it is not just a mission statement to leave no one behind, but it's a reality. You might have read last year that they've actually raised 3.4 million to clear student debt. I think it was actually more
Mm-hmm.
than that. So each year at the end, the university comes out with a fund and say, this year we've raised 3.4. Next year we're aiming for 5 million, where we clear student debt, that we make sure when students leave our university, they don't leave with an invoice in their packets, but they actually leave with an actual degree.
Mm-hmm. True. I mean, as it is, students are struggling at the moment to get their degree certificates because of outstanding fees, which is very unfortunate. And it becomes a cycle. Since they cannot get their certificates, they cannot get work, and they become part of the unemployed citizens in the country. Thembalethu, please
Mm.
stay with us. We are going to take a quick break, and we will continue thereafter.
ashrafulaid.org or call us on 011-809-8181. Ashraful Aid, under the auspices of Maulana Suhail Wadi.
Babu, why don't you loosen your belt a bit more?
But why now?
Well, it's very tight, blocking air to your brain.
Haju, this is only a start. I need to tighten up a bit more. Funds are tight and the cost of living is high.
Funds are not tight. It's your haram insurance which is tightening our barakat.
Okay, Haju. I will call my insurance friend tomorrow.
Maybe I must tighten up on my cooking from now on too.
No, Haju, we don't need to tighten up. It's okay. Look, I'm even throwing away my belt.
Don't tighten your belt. Change your insurance. Leaving Riba Insurance is easier than you think. Call Amana IFS for all your personal and commercial takaful needs. 0861 786 393. Amana, leave Riba for good. Amana IFS is a registered financial services provider.
Imagine the joy that a meal brings to a fasting family in need.
Africa.
This Ramadan, join Africa Muslim Agency to provide meals to the fasting for 100 Rand a day, food hamper for 1,500 Rand, or feed a village for 15,000 Rand per day. Imagine if you could earn Allah's mercy in these 10 days through your acts of mercy. Donate today. Call AMA on 011-834-8685 or donate online. Africa Muslims Agency, commemorating 35 years of empowering, educating, inspiring.
Give charity without delay, for it stands in the way of calamities. For child-headed households in Bloemendal in the Eastern Cape, the daily diet consists of white bread and a carton of cheap juice or sugar water, known locally as the poppy water diet. Make a difference to that one child or family. The Al Fida Foundation has over the past 13 years worked on the ground and gathered the largest database in the Eastern Cape region of Muslim Zakah recipients. Phone our offices at 041 484 1288 or visit our website at www.alfida.co.za. The Al-Fida Foundation, your social investment partner in the Eastern Cape.
Salam Media.
Welcome back. You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media, and our hit list for today is Stellenbosch University graduate Thembalethu Seyisi, and he's also the author of the book titled 21 Life Lessons at 21. We are going to be chatting to Thembalethu in a moment about his book. Thembalethu, thank you for staying on the line. Now, you also wrote a book titled 21 Life Lessons at 21. Tell us more about your book.
Thank you, Miriam. 21 Life Lessons at 21 is a special book, I believe, because it's a compilation of beautiful essays from inspirational South Africans, the likes of the former public protector, Sela, Justice Edwin Cameron of the Constitutional Court, and the UCT Vice Chancellor, where I asked them, can you share with young people one lesson you wish you had known at 21? And they write beautiful essays from they struggled with self-love and self-acceptance to how one should honor their. I think Justice writes candidly about he as a poor white South African, and he benefited from the kindness and charity of others.
All right. The delay is causing a bit of distraction here as well. Now, from the book 21 Life Lessons at 21, this book was launched last year when you turned 21. Congratulations on that. And now you're 22. So what life lesson have you learned at 21? Thembalethu? All right. We are going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us. You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Mari Mukwanda. It is 12:22. You can leave your comments and questions and queries in the comment section below, or send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 7660355. You are listening to the Ramadan edition of the Mid-Morning Talk with me, Mari Mukwanda. We will be right back.